So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that. And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment.
Alright. Might do another video after this, but not because Sunday, man. Sunday's one of the most boring days while I'm here. That's why I always film videos on Sundays. Oldies on ones I do every single week. But anyway, Son of Neptune. It was a good book. I liked it. So what I did, since I got so many books at once at Barnes Nobles and Bookman's, I'm reading one and listening to one each week now for a while until I get the ones that all here done. So yeah, but Son of Neptune was as good as the last one. I don't know. Both of them are great. So what happens in this one? So spoilers if you haven't read it, guys. But do you guys want to watch Percy Jackson show and know what is not gonna? Do you know, like, do you want to be like me and like watch stuff and read it first before you watch it? It's based off of a book. That's the fun of watching shows based off stuff based off books, because you get to know which stuff's not in it, because they can never do a good adaptation, 100% adaptation out of it. That's why it's okay to me if read out books. It's hopefully this. Sometimes it's okay, like this time. But what? Who will be learning about this tomorrow? Well, we have Percy in here, which we already know about, and we have Crystal, Hazel, and Frank. So during this book, it's Percy's turn to have amnesia, just like Jason did, and so he's the one has to be the leader, because he's technically the one with more experience on this venture, and it's both Hazel's and Frank's first quest. And he gets brought to the Roman camp after he was being killed a bunch of times by the Fury and being brought back to life, because now we know why the gods are there's death everywhere coming back to life, and that's because Xanatos, the god of death, is captured by one of the giants. Now, I won't be able to tell you guys in the giants' names because I don't know the giants' names. Sorry, I'm just gonna say giants. Okay? So, do you want to tell me down in the comments down below the giants' names? Perfectly okay with that. And, Juno, or Hera, brings, in, like an old lady form, makes him carry her after he wakes up, and being brought back to life and being killed again by the Furies. Back to the Roman camp, and then they have to go on an adventure to go and save Xanatos from the mean giant, and Gaia wants to use him as her pawn. So yeah, and Hazel is Pluto's daughter. She was dead once, because just like Nico, she's from the 40s, but she is not. She's Nico's half sister. So yeah, and she is from Alaska. That's where she died, and well, she's from a different state, but this is she grew where she died from. She died in Alaska, so we're just gonna say that, and you guys can actually find out where she's from, because so that was a couple of days ago, actually, that part. But do you want to correct me? Go ahead. And she was killed by sacrificing herself and her mom, because her power is to create crystals and create like energy around her, and so she ends up like making things like a bunch of things around her, and she crushed herself and her mom, and very sad. That scene was so sad. Felt so sorry for her that chapter. Like every single time we had a flashback to her, since she had such because basically her mom was being possessed by Gaia, so she would because her mom wanted to like be very powerful and stuff like that, so she prayed until Hades came, and so she got her curse was to get powers, but also Gaia would pick her to be the one that she possessed and convince Hazel to go and sacrifice her mom by finding Gaia, and then her mom would sacrifice themselves, and then Hazel would get to live, but she didn't want that to happen. Hazel sacrificed herself, and she was being called witch the entire time when she was in Alaska because of her power that she had. And the only person that loved her was Sammy, and I guess Sammy might be related to Leo, because the fact that when she first sees Leo at the end of the book, she thinks that he's Sammy. So we don't know what that means yet. And Percy says he has seen Leo has seen Sammy before, so we'll find out what that means, because you still don't know what that means. Don't tell me what that means. Don't you dare. So yeah, Frank is the son of Mars or Ares, and he thought at first he was the son of Apollo, but he was wrong. like a lot of people when they think they're related to somebody else in this book, but they're wrong. And he is also a descendant of a great Chinese warrior who is also a king, who is also a descendant, who is also the son of Poseidon. So he's technically related to both Poseidon and Mars. So his power is he can shape fire using water and make it look like an animal around him. That's his power. So it's pretty cool. Like how the end of the when they finally find the giant, he beats the giant by using flames and stuff like that and then chase him out of Alaska, because once the giant leaves Alaska, it can die. And then they free Xanatos before that. And so, because he says, "Welcome to Canada, you idiot!" So yeah, see all the monsters that we face in here. We face a bunch of different monsters. You face the Beliggities, the Furies, some giants. We meet the Amazons again, and a very, very funny joke in this. So, you know how they're called the Amazons? But guess what they run? Amazon! The company Amazon, where you buy all your books and everything else. So I just found that so funny. Oh my gosh. So yeah. Then we go, we see Hazel's house because Hazel's house is the only thing that's attacked that she knows, and that's when Percy sees the picture of Sammy, and Nico is the one that brings Hazel. Once Hazel comes back to life from the whole entire thing with no death come back, he brings. He's looking for his sister Bianca, but apparently she already got herself reborn, so he can't bring her back to life. And it's Nico's job to keep the death at bay, since right now both Hades and Xanatos are basically captured during this time. And now Xanatos is released, but Hades is still nowhere to be found. So yeah, and now Gaia has Nico. We don't know. We have to figure out maybe next book that maybe Nico will be fine. And we also got we also have the story Phineas, the guy who's fat and who hurts who's with those birds part harpies, and we have one that's a character in this show, in this book, who's named Elia, who basically just tells facts about history, and if you mention a word around her, she just tells you all about that word and every single thing with that history. So I kind of liked her. She was pretty funny. This book was so, and then when they get back to the camp of Roman, after we there's also a character called one of the Roman kings, not Julius, Arc. Oh, it's starts with an O. Who doesn't trust any of the any characters from anybody from. Okay, hold on. Actually, Octavian, he is actually a Roman general. So, like that, not much difference. But he's basically doesn't trust anybody in at the Greek, and he also always has a teddy bear, which doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. But yeah, and I guess he's the new Clarice, because he's technically he's the bully there. There's always has to be Clarice in these books. So yeah, one that you don't trust, and later on you trust them, and we'll find out. Because wasn't there a Clarice for the last book too? Let me see what the new Piper, wasn't there a Clarice for Piper too? So yeah. So yeah. So when they get back to camp, after they battle all those things and then end up saving Thanatos, they end up finding one of the giants there, but so far they haven't mentioned nobody dead there, even though the Xanatos says you better hurry up there before somebody else dies. And he didn't take Hazel with him, she thought that they would, but no, she's still needed for this thing. So we'll find out if she gets taken later. But right now, this is where she is, and so we just gotta find out. We get Nico back, and I love this book. It was great. I know I didn't mention everything that happened in it, but then why would you read it? You have to read it, guys? It's really good. If you haven't read it already, but I loved it. Probably gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I don't really. It's a great book. So yeah. See you guys later. Like, share, and subscribe. And let's see. I already started reading Two Paths book. So I'm gonna read that one next. But afterwards, you guys can tell me what to read. We got Mark of Athens, Kiki's Delivery Service. I got Nyx. And there's also Legend of Zelda, Twilight's Princess that I have. And there's also that new Warriors book that's about Brightheart that comes out next month sometime. So that one probably won't be a read. And then there's also a game, Kingdom Hearts book, the first Chain of Memories book that I have on my orders list. Probably won't. So only would probably order that one until you guys tell me to, because I got, like I said, I got a bunch of books here that I can read instead. So let me know. What would you want me to read? But right now, I'll see you guys later. Like, share, and subscribe. And, well, yeah. Let's read the last bit page to you guys, like I usually do. We'll probably end the video after that. And just like Jason, Percy hates Hera too, but who doesn't hate Hera? Hold your fire, Rita said, but the Legion stands ready. Percy Jackson is your duty to chosen as praetor. We'll trust his word, unless we are given clear reason not to. Series and let's jabber to former and meet our new friends. Sergeant stamps of the audience rather from of a panic. First, she was not sure. Tyson ran after them, yelling, "Ha ha, ha ha!" And with yeah, fury around him's head. Octavian gave Percy a disgust look, and then threw back his teddy bear and followed the crowd. Rita stood at Percy's side. "I support you, Percy," she said. "I trust your judgment, but for all our sakes, I hope we can keep peace between our camps and your Greek friends." "We will. You promise you'll see." But he glanced at the warship, and she expressed, turning a little wistful. "You say Jason is aboard. I hope that's true. I miss him." She raced across, leaving Percy alone with Hazel and Frank. "They're coming down right," and the former Frank said nervously. "Turpus is gonna have a heart attack." "Percy," Hazel said, "you swore on your life that Roman will..." "Was that serious?" "If something goes wrong by accident, Octavian will kill you. You know that, right?" Percy smiled. He knew the stakes were high. He knew that the day could go horribly wrong. But he also knew that Annabeth was on that ship. Things were right. That would be best day of his life. He threw his arms around Hazel and one arm around Hazel and one around Frank. "Come on, let's introduce you to my other family." So that's how it ends. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.